Welcome back, football fans, to another episode of the Prediction Show. I was going to take a day off today, but we did this yesterday, so it only feels right that we continue because, to be honest, there are some superb games in the Premier League this evening, and that is where our attention will be focused. We'll be using OddAlerts once more to find the best value bets in the game. So if you're ready, without further ado, let's get into it. 6.21 winner yesterday, absolutely fantastic stuff. Today will be a little bit lower, around 4s. I've already taken a look at some of these games and picked out some of the most insightful things that I think you will need to see before you make your predictions. And of course, we will start with Brentford Everton. But first, well done to this user. You have won a month of OddAlerts Pro for commenting on the last video. And the competition, as always, still stands. If you want to win a month of Pro, this very, very powerful tool that I'm using to find these winning predictions, all you've got to do is comment on this video, hit like whilst you're down there as well, and let me know who's going to win and what will the score be out of Tottenham and Manchester City, the game of the night for sure. I will get to that one, of course, and I will give you my predictions. I'm also going to give you a score prediction for every game as we go through them, because somebody asked me to in the comments. So yeah, I'll do that. And we will start, of course, with Brentford Everton. So we start with Everton, and what a run they are on under David Moyes. I've just got to say, it's one of the stories of the season. It's romantic and it's fitting, you know, that he is the one to take them back, to take them into their new stadium and take them hopefully back to where the fans feel that Everton should be. A successful team, challenging, pushing as far as they can be. There is a remarkable stat that I saw when I was doing my research before on this game. I was counting the goals that they've scored under David Moyes so far, and they've scored 13 goals in 7 games since he was appointed, right? And it's just quite interesting this. Before that, it took Everton 16 games and 113 days to score that same number of goals, 13. And that is a run that started here on the 14th of September all the way to when Dyche was sacked after the 4th of January defeat to Bournemouth. It took them that long to score 13 goals, and you can see that it includes a 4-0, a 2-0, a 2-1. They just really weren't scoring enough goals, and Moyes has changed that. He has changed the complete atmosphere around the club. Absolutely superb stuff. They should have had a penalty against Man United. I think they should have. I know Young has dived, and if he doesn't dive forward, and if he just gets pulled back, he got pulled back. But his dive has cost them not getting the penalty. So a lesson for you young folk out there. If you're going to dive, make it look a little bit natural. Speaking of dives, we'll take a look at the home form for Brentford. They started the season unbeaten in 8 games, and now they are winless in 5, failing to score in the last couple of games as well. But to be fair to them, in this little run of bad form at home, they've played Forest, Arsenal, City, Liverpool, and then a rejuvenated Tottenham team. Jumping to cards for a moment, I just wanted to show you how well disciplined Brentford are. Overall this season, 1.42 cards per game. That is below the average, of course. Everton, 2.33 across the same period. We look at their overall form, it goes to 2.27. Last 5 games for Brentford, 1 card per game, 2.8 cards for Everton. So keep that in mind. Might be useful in a bit. And we will take a look at the probability model as well. You can see that it is a narrow home win that is being predicted, but the odds are still over evens for this one. My score prediction for this, and this is not tied in with the slip that we're going to create, but people wanted to see more score predictions from me. So I'm going to go, it could be a 1-1 draw. I've got a lot of faith in Everton at the moment, but I think there'll be goals in this, as you'll see in a moment in my predictions, just based on how Everton are playing. I brought Beto into my fantasy as well. I'm going to go 2-1 Everton. The Moyes train to continue at full steam. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. Looking forward to reading your predictions. So 2-1 Everton I'm going with for this one. Next, we will look at Forest hosting Arsenal. So we'll take a look at Nottingham Forest, and once so solid, they have now conceded 11 goals in the last 4 games. 3 of those 4, however, were away from home, so they'll be thankful to be playing at home tonight, where they have lost just twice this season, just once since late September. So yeah, I think watching Arsenal the other day, I think West Ham may have provided a blueprint for Nottingham Forest, and a blueprint that Forest are more than capable of emulating. If you look at the player profiles, they sat deep, they were tight, but they had players like Wan-Bissaka, Bowen, that could get them up the pitch very quickly. And I look at Forest, and they've definitely got similar profiles that can counter and break on Arsenal, if that is the way they want to go, because they are the home team in this instance, of course. Now onto the head-to-head, because this is a super interesting statistic. So since 2016, there has not been a draw between these teams, and I went and dug a little bit deeper. The meeting before 2016 was in 1995, and that was the last time that there was a draw between these teams. And if you scroll up to the top of the head-to-head section, the home team has won this game 77% of the time. Will there be another home victory here tonight? Now jumping to the goals section, and in terms of nil-nils, there has not been a nil-nil at home for Forest this season, nor has there been one away from home for Arsenal. And in fact, if we look at overall form, there hasn't been one at all for Forest, and just one all season for Arsenal. The bookies are expecting under 4 goals given the odds for this one, and it makes sense with both teams conceding under a goal per game when playing at home and away. And I think those recent results where Forest have conceded many goals, they will only help them improve, and especially playing at home today, I think they're going to keep things tight. I can see this one being a narrow victory for either side. Score prediction would be either team to win by 1 goal. It's very hard to pick a scoreline, isn't it? Let's actually let the AI fixture simulation do this one for us. We're going to generate, and we get a 1-0 Arsenal win. Not beyond the realms of possibility, is it? A 1-0 narrow Arsenal win. Do they have enough at the top end of the pitch to get that done today? I'm not so sure that they do, without Havertz, without Jesus, without Saka. Saka's the big miss. Anyway, let's move on to the next game. Get your predictions in, of course, for this game. And the next game we're going to look at is the big one, Spurs Man City. 3 wins on the bounce for Tottenham for the first time this season in the Premier League, and they needed it. My word, did they need it. 7 games without a win in the Premier League, but it's actually worse than that. If you look at the only fixture they won between November and February was against Southampton. It was Gary O'Neill's final game. It's been a bit of a rollercoaster season for Tottenham, but if they win tonight, they will be 8 points off the top 4. It's not the impossible job, is it? Can they do something? Can they go far in the Europa League? They'll be hoping that that is their method into the Champions League. If they are going to play European football next year, they'll also be hoping that they can just push for 6th, 7th and get a Europa League spot as well. But this is their form at the moment. Now let's take a look at Manchester City's. Across all competitions, City have lost the last couple of games, but of course they've played 2 of the best teams in Europe, Liverpool and Real Madrid. And now they're going to play one of the teams in Europe that seem to be turning a corner, getting some players back. Away from home, they have conceded in the last 4 games, and of course in the majority because they've only kept clean sheets recently at Ipswich Town and at Leicester, and you would not bet against Tottenham scoring in this game. Surely you would not. Let me know in the comments, what are your score predictions for this one? Any comment on this game is automatically entered into a draw to win OddAlerts Pro. And with that, before I show you the stat that is going to make it into our selection for this game, my score prediction is going to be 3-1 to Tottenham. My brother is a Tottenham fan, and I do think that they will get this victory tonight. 3-1 Manchester City without Haaland potentially. He is having a late fitness test, so they say, on Wednesday. So let's have a look at the market that I'm going to be exploring for this game. So if you've watched this channel in the last couple of months, you'll know that we've had some nice winners when it comes to Tottenham. Tottenham to have the most corners recently against Manchester United. We were on that, and the odds are quite attractive again tonight. And I'm just going to show you some of the data that has led me to that decision. At home, 108 corners have been won for Tottenham, 8.31 per game, 86 Away for Man City, that is 6.62. So City certainly not average or below average. They are a very good team. But Tottenham, in this moment in time, with the wingers that they have back as well, Brennan Johnson playing, is only going to improve the corner count rather than reduce it. Son back to his best, cutting down that line. He is a big reason for the corner count. Now, if we jump to the last 5 games, we can see that it does drop for Manchester City, and 4.4 per game. And if we're just looking at home corners for Tottenham, you can see the 100% records here. If we toggle back to every game, they have received 5 or more corners in every single home game this season. 6 or more corners in 85% of games, and comparatively, for Man City away from home, they have received 5 or more corners in 54% of games. So that's the data. There is more to it as well. You can check out the form guide page to see more data on corners. And with that, we are now going to jump to Bet365. My scoreline prediction, as I say, 3-1 for this game now. The next 2 games, Manchester United against Ipswich, I'll give scoreline predictions for, but my selections, my predictions, analysis, data and stuff, that will be in Discord for pro users of OddAlerts, just like the Chelsea game was last night. And all of the selections came in apart from one on that game. We had Kyle Walker-Peters to commit a foul, and he was brought off early with a knock, which was very, very annoying. So yeah, that'll be the same sort of thing tonight. Man United, Ipswich, Liverpool, Newcastle. Experimenting really with some player markets thrown in there, using the data as much as I can as well. So if you're not in the Discord, feel free to join if you're a pro user already. It's just one of the other perks to being a pro user. There's many users in there adding their predictions, giving their thoughts, and just generally talking about football and betting and everything in between. So now let's jump to Bet365. So here we are then, and these are the Premier League games, of course. Forest Arsenal, I am not going to touch it for this slip. I don't have enough confidence. I don't think there's enough value in the game, to be honest. Can Forest get a win? Sure. Can Arsenal go there and get a win? Sure. Could there be both teams scoring? Sure. Could it be a 1-0 game? Sure. You know what I mean? There's not much predictability there, I don't feel. The bookies are expecting under 4 goals, but as we've seen with Forest in recent weeks, there could be 7 goals, right? Here we are then. We're going to start with Everton-Brentford. And as we saw in the data before, Brentford, quite a well-disciplined team. They've got players that can cause any team issues. They'll be hoping and wishing that they can get back to winning ways at home after a pretty tricky period. So the first thing I'm going to go for on this is Everton to get more than 1 card in the game. And then we are going to go and look at total goals and go to over 1.5 goals. And that gets this to 1.7. So let me know what you think about that in the comments. And then the next game we are going to go to is Tottenham against Manchester City. We're going to jump to the bet builder. And we are going to go team to get the most corners, Tottenham. And this gets us a selection of 4.42. Yesterday 6.21, today 4.42. Who knows what the next video will be, maybe even lower. But yeah, both of those are above my usual range of about 3s, 3.5. But I'm quite confident in this one. It obviously depends on what Manchester City team turn up. Tottenham are going to get a lot of corners in this game. They always do at home. And I think in terms of the sort of confidence barometer, Tottenham are ahead of Man City at this moment in time. And I'm looking forward to seeing Brennan Johnson on one wing and Son on the other, especially as it relates to corners. Whereas Man City's wingers, they tend to cut inside, don't they, and try and recycle the ball. So we'll see. And especially if Haaland's not playing, more likely to go through the middle of the pitch rather than get the ball out wide and cross it into Haaland. So we'll see how this one goes. But 2.6, I think, given the data especially, is a very, very good price. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. Now, let's jump to the bet slip generator page because we are going to do man versus machine. 4.42 are the target odds. Let's see what we can get. So this is the bet slip generator. If you've not used it before, it's a bet slip generator, but it's powered by the OddAlerts probability model. And it uses that model to generate games based on the selections that you enable and that you set. I'll show you how it works now. So we're going to have 2 items per slip, even though ours was kind of a treble, wasn't it? Yeah, let's go treble then. No, let's go double. No, we'll go treble because it's higher odds, isn't it? We're going to get 2 games that are pretty high. So the odds per item, 1.4, 1.9. No competition selected. Let it select whatever it wants. We'll go next 48 hours, shall we? Just let it run a little bit. We'll sort by probability, value bets only, and we'll keep these enabled because actually the previous selection when we used this tool a couple of videos ago, I think, was a winner. So let's hit get, and then we get some games, and we have a value bet here which has 83% value across the whole slip. That's pretty good, isn't it? We've got over 2.5 goals in Guatemala, which is a great league for home wins and double chance. And then we've got an away win in the Jordan Premier League, and then a home victory in the Peruvian Premier League as well. We can jump down a little bit because this one might be a bit more interesting because obviously it is closer to our target odds, very close indeed. We have a game in the Thai League Cup, so it's a cup competition. Let me know what you think about that one. Then we've got a home game, and then we've got a game from Wales as well. And again, 41% value. We can scroll down and we see that we just keep getting games here. Over 1.5 goals at odds of 1.5 today at 2:30 p.m. Again, it's a Greek Cup game. Then we've got Saudi Pro League. Again, decent odds for over 1.5 goal value has been spotted there. And then a home win. Again, there's a lot of cup competitions midweek, as you can see, around the world. And this tool, you can just click run again if you want to keep running it. We've got games from the Japanese J-League. Yes, I cannot wait for this one to get going a little bit more. If you want me to include more random leagues in these videos, let me know. I love to explore the Japanese J-League and J2 as well. After about 10-15 games, I find that it does become very predictable. There's some certain teams that just perform as the data suggests, very sort of routine. So I'll be more than happy to check that out. I think what I'm going to go for here is this top one. The second one is closer, but there's a game at 12. So I think some of you probably will be watching this on your dinner break or something. So we're going to go with this one. And it has got a couple of games from Thursday, so plenty of time for people to get on it, even if they're watching this late before the games kick off on Wednesday night. So we have the over 2.5 goals, Guatemalan Premier Division. We then have an away win in Jordan on Thursday, and then another game on Thursday evening from Peru. So plenty of time for this one. And that is it, guys. Let me know what you think about this video in the comments. If you've not subscribed yet, what are you doing? What are you doing? Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.